Hello friends, today we are going to start with a new session on practicals. So here first we have start with laboratory practice 2, that is the combination of VLSI design and technology plus elective 1. So today here we have start with a practical on subject VLSI design and technology, the subject code 404187. For the said subjects, the university has been decided 2 credits and the teaching scheme practical 2 hours per week and examination scheme practical 50 marks examination and term work 50 marks allocated. Here, here the list of experiments, whatever the practicals we have to conduct with this subject. So they are having in a 2 part, that is part A and part B. Part A is related to write the VHDL code, simulate with the test bench, synthesis, implement on PLD. In that, of 5 practicals they have provided. First title 4-bit ALU. In that, the different operations we have to perform, that is add, subtract, and NAND, XOR, XNOR, OR, and ALU pass. So these are the various arithmetic and logical operations we have to perform with the first practical, that is 4-bit arithmetic logic unit. Then second practical, that is decided universal shift register with mode selection input for CISO, SIPO, PISO and PIPO modes. Serial in, serial out, serial in, parallel in, serial out, parallel in, parallel out modes. So universal shift registers we have to study with these practical. In that, all the mode selection input. Then practical number 3, FIFO memory, that is first in first out memory. So here we have to generate one memory, that is do the functionality of first in first out. Then fourth one, LCD interface. We have to display one message onto the LCD by using VHDL code. Then fifth, keypad interface. Here we have to display a key which we have pressed, that is display onto the LCD. That is the practical number 5, keypad interface. So all these 5 practicals we have to perform with VHDL code, simulate it with test bench, synthesis, then do the synthesis and then implement it on PLDs. So out of these 5 practicals, any 4 practicals we have to conduct. Now the part B. So here we have to study the part B. Already the part A, whatever the practicals we have to conduct, we have already gone through it. Now the part B. In part B, to prepare the CMOS layout in selected technology, simulate with and without capacitive load, comment on rise and fall times. So here the part B practical, to prepare the CMOS layout in selected technology, simulate with and without capacitive load, comment on rise and fall times. In that, first one, inverter, NAND gate, NOR gate, half adder. These are the implementations or the gates implementation we have to do with this CMOS layout. Second, 2:1 multiplexer using logic gate and transmission gate. Here we have to design 2:1 multiplexer by using the logic gate and transmission gate technology. Second, then third, single bit SRAM cell. Third practical, single bit SRAM cell. Here we have to design one RAM. So here we have to study the 3 practicals. In that, first practicals we are having with that the 4 part is there. Part A inverter, part B NAND, part C NOR gate and part D half adder. So here 5A, 5B, 5C, 5D. These are the 4 practicals. Then 2:1 mux, again 2 part, logic gate implementation and transmission gate implementation, and then single bit SRAM cell. So these are the total first 4 practicals. Out of these 4 practicals means 4 over here and 3 over here. Total 7 practicals is there. So here for the VLSI lab, we are having with that, these are the two main sections, that is group A and group B. So in group A, the practicals which we will cover onto the platform of Xilinx ISC 9.1, 9.2 or many more versions which will available for Xilinx ISC simulator. So here the group A practical is performed with this particular software, that is Xilinx ISC 9.1 or 9.2. In that, how to perform the practicals on FPGA Spartan 3 demo board, that we are going to study with the first A group. Then group B practicals. Group B practicals which we are going to perform with the case on the software Microwind 3.1 or Microwind 3.5. These are the version 3.1 or 3.5. So basically group B practicals which we are going to utilize the software, that is Microwind. On that we are having to draw CMOS layout by using Microwind software. So here we have to study both the groups, that is how to perform the practicals on demo board part A, and group B, how to draw the CMOS layout by using Microwind. So these are the two group practicals which we are going to study. So out of which first we have started with the group B practicals, that is Microwind 3.1 or 3.5 softwares we are going to utilize to draw the CMOS layout. So in that very first we are taken a title, that is Lab 5A, to generate layout for CMOS inverter circuit and simulate it for verification. To generate the layout for CMOS inverter circuit and simulate it for verification. In the experiment number 5A, title CMOS inverter is there. Aim for the title: to design, prepare and simulate the layout of CMOS logic inverter using MOSFETs. Assume 90 nanometer and 0.12 micrometer technology with a capacitive load of 0.001 picofarad, with a capacitive load of 0.001 picofarad. For that, the objective is there, CMOS inverter objective is there. First objective, to design and verify the layout of CMOS inverter for specific technology assuming load capacitance. Okay. Second, to understand Microwind software for development of layout of CMOS circuit. To understand the Microwind software for development of layout of CMOS circuit. Third, to calculate the rise time / fall time, power consumption and area of CMOS logic inverter. Here we are going to find out the objectives or study the objectives to calculate rise time, fall time, power consumption and area of CMOS logic inverter. Then the outcomes. Outcomes means what you are getting from after the study of these objectives. After performing these practical, students are able to design and verify the layout of CMOS inverter for the given specific technology, assuming load capacitance or without load capacitance, what should be the power consumption, what should be the rise time, fall time and area of inverter. So these are the outcomes which we are going to study with these particular practical. Now what should be the apparatus or the equipments which we require to study this particular practical. So basically we require the PC or the laptop and Microwind software. These are the just two basic requirements to study the CMOS inverter layout. Have you got it? What should be the aim, objective, outcome and requirements? Now when after the design we have to verify the result. So basically the result for this particular practical we have taken in the form of likewise tabular manner. what should be the technology, on which technology we have to implement that particular practical. So either it is 120 nanometer technology, either it is 90 nanometer technology. Then what should be the parameters we have to consider? So these are the parameters we have taken into consideration: rise and fall times, second power consumption, third area, and with capacitor. So capacitance load should be 0.001 picofarad, and without capacitor, again we have to verify the same parameters for both the technology, either 120 nanometer, either 90 nanometer technology. So here we have write down that particular value whatever we have after the design or the layout of CMOS inverter. Now the VLSI lamp is going to classify with these particular classifications. In that, first front end design is there, that is we can call it as front end design. Then second back end design is there, and third technology. A complete VLSI lab setup should contain proper hardware, proper software, foundry or link up with some fab lab, then test facility and the purpose. A complete VLSI lab setup should contain proper hardware, proper software, foundry or link up with some fab lab, test facility and purpose. These are some requirements. Then design steps. What should be the design steps for to perform with this particular practical? First we have to require a schematic. Whatever the logic or whatever the logical circuit we have to design, for that we required a schematic diagram. After the schematic, we have to draw the layout for that particular given schematic. Then check DRC, that is design rule check. Then study about layout versus schematic. Then parasitic extraction. And then post layout simulations. So these are the design steps. What are the benefits? So by studying this layout, we are having to design a mini project. Either 3 or 4 students group make the mini project, VHDL/Verilog based mini project with emphasis on design and implementation into the group of maximum 3 students may possible. Either any layout design. Then next, design abstraction levels. Whenever we are going to design any layout, so for that initial stage should be there. So the MOSFET formation or the CMOS technology is there, complementary metal oxide semiconductor. So either first we have to form the structure of CMOS, so that is MOS device, either it is NMOS or PMOS, combination of that we can call it as a CMOS is there. So here drain, gate, source, drain, gate and source. So the MOSFET device formation is there, that is the very first level. Then after that MOS device formation, we have to form a circuit. So here we have taken one PMOS and one NMOS, and from that we can form a inverter circuitry is there with the capacitive load is there. One PMOS and one NMOS, we can form a circuit of inverter. After that we can get a gate level diagram or any gate is there. Then from which gate we can form a module or the model. Then after the model, combining the different models, we can form a system is there. After combining the different model, we can get the system, and that system is form a likewise. So initially the initial stage is their device, then circuit, then gate, then module, and then finally the system. In this way, we are forming a system. Microwind. What the microwind? Microwind is a tool for designing and simulating the circuit at a layout level. Microwind is a tool for designing and simulating circuits at layout level. The tool features full editing facilities. The tool features full editing facilities like copy, cut, paste, duplicate, move. These are the facilities. Then various views, mask characteristics, 2D cross section, 3D process viewer, and an analog simulator. So these are the facilities which we are available with the microwind. Each and every facility and each and every design steps we are going to study further. Then tools from microwind. Tools from microwind. What are the tools are available from microwind? So first microwind, then DSCH, that is design schematic, then microwind 3 editor is there, then microwind 2D viewer is there, then microwind 3D viewer is there, then microwind analog simulator is there, microwind tutorial on MOS devices are there, and view of silicon atoms So these are the tools from microwind which we are available with the particular softwares. How to get the microwind or getting microwind? So go to the website http://www.microwind.net/document. So here on this site particularly the microwind software is available. So download the freeware version of the microwind, then unzip the files in a folder, then microwind folder is available, and on that you may get the editor window. Here Nano CMOS application nodes. Different technology nodes are there on which we can form the 90 nanometer technology, 65 nanometer technology, 45 nanometer, 32, 28 nanometer, 20 nanometer, and nowadays 40 nanometer technology should available. That is in the year of introduction 2016. Starting from 2003 to 2016, SOIS substrate key innovations. Now the FinFET technology is used. So these are some reference papers. According to that, they are microwind downloads. The main users of microwind downloads is in India 9,675 on 2010. If you look out, the 10,000 customers or visitors from India. Out of these selected countries, most of the users are in India. Okay. Now, next, introduction to the tool. It is a very user-friendly and initiative design tool for educational use. It is very user-friendly and initiative design tool for educational use. Second, the student draws the masks of the circuit layout and performs analog simulation. The student can able to draw the mask layout and performs the analog simulation for the given schematic. Then the tool can display the layout in 2D, static, 3D and animated 3D layout. Okay. So here we have shown a editor window is there. So in that editor window, what are the components or what are the facilities are provided, that we are labeled over here. In that, first the basic parameter, that is lambda. So first, whenever we are initializing with the microwind, here 3.5 version is there. So in that 5 lambda is there. So that is 0.175 micrometer technology is there. Okay, it is one dot on the grid is 5, means if you look out these two dot distance, if you look out these two dot distance, that is calculated in 5 lambda or either in 0.175 micrometer. These are some editing icon is there. This is delete icon, this is copy icon, then move icon, then image enhancement, decreases, then all parameters which we have to look out on this editor window. So we have to click on all button, then here access to simulation tool, then here scaling rule is there, then here 2D and 3D view is there, then here design rule check button is there, then here layout library is there, some simulation properties is there, here characteristics is there, here we have to move these windows, then here palette of layers, and here active technology, diffusion N plus P plus, these are the active technology, and here these are the total editor window. So here we have to utilize this active area to draw the CMOS layout. Then the next graph, that is IV characteristics or VI characteristics of the layout or schematic. Then next here, what are the switching characteristics, that is on off characteristics of layout. And third here is the layout of 3D layout of that particular design. So these are the facilities which we are available with the Microwind tool. Everyone got it? So here our approach. First, MOS device. Traditional teaching. In traditional teaching, in-depth explanation of potentials, fields, threshold voltage, and eventually the expression of the current IDSS, and eventually the expression of current IDSS. So in traditional teaching, explanation of the potentials, fields, threshold voltage, and eventually the expression of the current IDSS. Now what should be our approach? Our approach is the step-by-step illustration of the most important relationship between layout and performance. Step-by-step implementation of most important relationship between layout and performance. In that, first, design of the MOS. Design of the MOS, we have to perform first design of the MOS. Then second, IV simulation, current voltage simulations, we have to make the verifications, how to perform. Then 2D view of that particular layout, how it look like. Then fourth, time domain analysis. Time domain analysis means switching characteristics of that particular parameter. So these are our approach, traditional teaching and our approach. Feature size. Chips are specified with set of masks. Minimum dimensions of mask determine transistor size, and hence speed, cost and power we can able to calculate it. Feature size, that is F, is equal to distance between source and drain. Set by minimum width of polysilicon. Set by minimum width of polysilicon. Feature size improves 30% every 3 years. Normalize for feature size when describing in the design rules. Example, lambda is equal to 0.090 micrometer in 0.180 micrometer process. Layout design rules. For complex process, it becomes difficult to understand the particulars of the fabrication process and interpret different photomasks. For complex process, it becomes difficult to understand the particulars of the fabrication process and interpret different photomasks. They act as interface between the circuit designer and the process engineer. They act as an interface between the circuit designer and the process engineer. Again, here we have look out the microwind environment. Already we have know that each and every parameter, but still we have look out that. First, here menu command. In menu command, these are the options are available: file, view, edit, simulate, compile, analysis and help. Here open window is there, save window is there, then delete window is there, editing icons is here, total editing icon is there, delete window, delete the parameters, components, then copy the components, then move, then zoom in and zoom out, then all parameters visible, then access to the simulation, scalar, 2D view, 3D view, design rule check, then text or label writing, then here IV characteristics, then palette of the layers, whatever the palette, if the palette is not available, so you have to click over here and arrange the palette over here, then movement of the entire view by using these 4 buttons. Either you have to move on upward, either you have to move on downward, either you have to move on left side, either move on to the right hand side. So on this editor window or active area we have to move. Then here the layout library, then simulation properties, palette of layers, active layers, then current technology. What should be the current technology? CMOS 0.12 micrometer technology is there. And here polysilicon contact is there, NMOS contact, PMOS contact is there, then metallic contact is there, then different metal contacts, then NMOS and PMOS is there, capacitance is there, resistance, inductance is there, then VDD is there, high value VDD is there, VSS or ground is there, then clock is there, then single pulse is there, then sinusoidals is there, and the output visible or the node visible is there. So these are the total microwind environment is there. One dot on the grid. One dot on the grid means these two dot, the 5 lambda distance is there or 0.30 micrometer is there on 0.12 micrometer technology. Have you got it, everyone, related to all the parameters? If you click the, if you near the mouse cursor over the button, so you may get the idea about that what it is function. Then next, design rules. Basically these should be the very much important parameter or the criteria which we required to draw the CMOS layout. So everyone should understand what should be the design rules for the CMOS layout. So very first rule, so for that NVL is there, NVL R101, rule number 101, NVL, minimum width should be the 12 lambda is there, minimum width should be the 12 lambda is there, R101, minimum width should be the 12 lambda. From this palette we have taken this NVL, and this NVL we have to draw the structure of 12 lambda. So whether it is 12 lambda or not, we have to count it: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So here, from here to here, the distance should be the total 12 lambda distance is there. Okay, so here to here we have taken the 12 lambda distance from both the sides. So R101 is the minimum width of that particular NVL area, either this side or either this side we have taken 12 lambda. R102, between wells, if two wells on the same platform, so in between that again 12 lambda distance is there. So R101, R102, it is 12 lambda is there. Have you got it? Okay. Then R110. What R110? R110 is the minimum well area, that is total area of this particular minimum well area is at 144 lambda square. 144 lambda square means area is nothing but length into width. Length into width. That is nothing but area 12 into 12, 144 lambda square. So in this way we are having with the area of the n well, that is 144 lambda square. The length and width of that particular one, that is 12 lambda, and minimum width in between two wells, that is 12 lambda. And n well we have taken from this particular palette. Have you got it? N well, where it is available? Okay. Now second rule, that is R201. R201, the rule is for the n plus diffusion and p plus diffusion. R201, that is n plus diffusion and p plus diffusion. The width for the particular one, that is 4 lambda. So the distance for that, it is 4 lambda. Here the distance is that the 4 lambda is there. R201, the distance of P plus diffusion is the brown color and N plus diffusion is the green color, that is rule same. R201, that is N plus diffusion, 4 lambda is there. The distance of that particular one is that 4 lambda is there. So R201, 4 lambda is there, and we have taken from this N plus diffusion over here, N plus diffusion, and P plus diffusion from this palette. Everyone got it? Okay. Next, R203, that is extra n well after P plus diffusion. Extra n well after P plus diffusion means whatever the extra n well after the P plus diffusion, that is 6 lambda. So the total value should be the 6 lambda. We have to calculate it whether it is 6 lambda or not. So here 1 lambda, 2 lambda, 3 lambda, 4 lambda, 5 lambda, and total distance 6 lambda is there. So here the distance should be 6 lambda is there. Have you got it? R203, extra n well and after P diffusion. So n plus diffusion from here, P plus diffusion, and here n well, that n well, extra n well, 6 lambda is there. Have you got it? Okay. Next, R204, that is between n plus diffusion and n well. Between n plus diffusion and n well, what should be the minimum difference? That is, we can call it as R204. R204 again 6 lambda is there. So that distance is also again for 6 lambda is there. Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 lambda is there. So again n well and n plus diffusion, 6 lambda distance is there. N well and P plus diffusion, again 6 lambda is there. Everyone able to understand? Okay. Next rule, that is R210, that is the minimum diffusion area. Minimum diffusion area, it is 16 lambda square. Again 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So total area should be 16 lambda square. Either n plus diffusion, either P plus diffusion. Total area should be 16 lambda square. Have you got it? R210. Then next, R301, that is rule number 301, polysilicon width. Rule number 301, polysilicon width, 2 lambda is there. The distance of that particular is that 2 lambda is there. So here we have to calculate the distance. That particular distance should be the 2 lambda is there. This distance should be 2 lambda. That is polysilicon. Rule number 301. In between P plus diffusion and N plus diffusion, both the rule number 301 or polysilicon width should be the 2 lambda. From where polysilicon layer we have taken, red color it is, and we have taken from these particular locations, polysilicon. Have you got it? Polysilicon? Yes. N plus diffusion, green color, P plus diffusion, brown color, polysilicon, it is red color, and N1, it is green color, dotted area. Have you got it? Okay. Then, rule number 302, polysilicon get on diffusion. Polysilicon get on diffusion. It is again 2 lambda area is there. It is again 2 lambda area is there. Okay. R302. Then R307, extra polysilicon surrounding diffusion 3 lambda. Diffusion and polysilicon extra surrounding layer should be on 3 lambda. 1, 2 and total 3 lambda is there. So this distance should be 3 lambda. Have you got it? Both the side 3 lambda, 3 lambda, 3 lambda. Then rule number 304, between two polysilicon boxes, again 3 lambda distance must be there. That is rule number 304, either N plus diffusion, either P plus diffusion. PMOS or either NMOS development, if two polysilicon layers are there, so in between that the 3 lambda distance must be there. Here the width should be the 2 lambda is there, but the distance should be 3 lambda is there. Then rule number 307, that is diffusion after polysilicon. Diffusion after polysilicon from either sides, it is 4 lambda. P plus diffusion, here 4 lambda distance is there. This side again 4 lambda, this side again 4 lambda, and this side again 4 lambda. Then rule number 401, that is contact width. Rule number 401, contact width. 2 lambda is there. So contact we have taken from these particular locations, that is contact. Here these contacts should be taken from this particular area. That is rule number 401. So contact width for 2 lambda is there. So this distance should be the exactly 2 lambda is there. Okay, contact 2 lambda, and polysilicon contact 2 lambda contact is there, and out of which polysilicon area should be the total 4 lambda is there. Metal or either polysilicon contact is there, again 4 lambda area is there. Okay. Contact 2 lambda is there. Okay. Have you got it? R401, contact width 2 lambda is there. And contact we have taken from this particular layer, if polysilicon, so here, and directly if you want contact, so you may take from this particular location. Polysilicon metal contact from this, and NMOS and PMOS contact should be from here, and metal contact and different metals over here. So these are the contact. Then R404, rule number 404, extra poly surrounding contact 1 lambda. Extra poly surrounding contact 1 lambda. Okay, these extra from contact 1 lambda area is there. Okay, 1 lambda. Either polysilicon, either metal polysilicon contact. R405, extra metal surrounding contact 1 lambda is there. Extra metal surrounding contact is there, 1 lambda is there. Have you able to understood? Then R403, that is extra diffusion surrounding contact 1 lambda. extra diffusion surrounding contact from here, whatever the contact if we have deposited, so extra contact is there 1 lambda, that is R403. Have you got it? 1 lambda. Then R501, that is between two metals 4 lambda is the distance. Here the distance should be 4 lambda is there. 4 lambda, how it calculate? 1 lambda, 2 lambda, 3 lambda and total 4 lambda. 1, 2, 3 and total 4 lambda is there. And between two metals again the distance should be 4 lambda is there. So here total 6 metals are there. Metal 1, metal 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total 6 metals are there. According to their applications, they are utilized in a different layout. Metal 1, metal 2, metal 3, metal 4, 5 and 6. Have you got it? Metal contacts or metal distance, that is 4 lambda is there. Rule number 501, and the different distance in between these two metals 4 lambda is there again. Then R510, rule number 510, minimum metal area, that is 16 lambda square. Already the 4 width and height, length and width should be the 4 lambda. So total area should be the 16 lambda square is there. So minimum metal area is the 16 lambda square for each metal. Now here we have to start with a first design of our practical list. That is the design of CMOS inverter. The design of CMOS inverter. CMOS stands for complementary metal oxide, semiconductor and inverter. Does everybody can know that? What does it mean by inverter? Okay, everybody can know that inverter because already all the students are from final year. So they have known that what does it mean by inverter. Inverter is simply inverts the functions. Whatever we are applying, exactly complementary functions you may get at the output terminal. If you apply the input 0, you may get the output across on output terminal, that is 1. If you apply 0 input, you may get the output as a 1. If you apply the input 1, you may get the output as a 0. So here input A is there, then inverter symbol is there, inverter, likewise, then bubble, and then output Y is there. So this should be the symbol of inverter is there. Number of students cannot draw this circle and simply draw the triangle, that is inverter. But always keep in mind, inverter, always bubble you have to show because it is a complementary function is there. So complementary function is there means Y, always bar. Input A, Y is equal to A bar is there. Okay. So here Y is equal to A bar is there. So here in the diagram, look out, the circuit symbol is there, then truth table of the inverter is there, input and output. If input is 1, output is 0, input is 0, output should be 1. Everyone can know that. Then we have to draw the schematic for the inverter. How we can able to draw the schematic of the inverter? Everyone can listen carefully how to draw the schematic of inverter. Listen here. Here we have to draw the, here we have to study the function. What should be the function of the inverter? Y is equal to A bar is there. Y is equal to A bar is there. So can anybody know that the function of PMOS and NMOS? Can anybody know the function of PMOS and NMOS? Already in the last year power electronics subjects we have know that the PMOS and NMOS study is there. So everyone can know that the PMOS transistor and NMOS transistor is there. So here P MOSFET and N MOSFET. So here the combination of PMOS and NMOS we have formed a CMOS structure is there. Combination of PMOS and NMOS we have formed a CMOS structure is there. So as we can have to design a CMOS inverter, so always we have to keep one term in your mind. One PMOS and one NMOS must be there. For design, one PMOS and one NMOS must be there, because here we have to design a CMOS circuitry is there. So it is a combination of PMOS and NMOS is there. So one PMOS and one NMOS should be required. Now we have to know the basic functionality of PMOS and NMOS. When PMOS should be operated and when NMOS should be operated. So as far as concerned with that, here we have to know that the name of the terminal. So here source terminal is there, PMOS, source, then drain and gate is there. Source, drain and gate is there. NMOS, drain, gate and source is there. So here source is connected to VDD and here source is connected to VSS, NMOS. And how it functions? When zero input is given to PMOS, when zero input is given to PMOS, then PMOS having functionally operated. When zero input is applied to the PMOS gate terminal, then PMOS can functionally operated, means the current can flow through the PMOS. Okay, and whatever the supply voltage which is available at the VDD, that will be passed on to the Y terminal. So means the current must be flow through the circuitry and the voltage must be available across the Y potential or the Y terminal. Here, have you got it? If you apply the input, here polysilicon layer on gate terminal, so we have taken the red color is there. Okay, so in case of PMOS circuitry, if we apply zero input, then PMOS can operated or functionally it may provide the output. If one input is applied to the PMOS, so the MOSFET gate off, no current must be flowing through the device. And exactly opposite function of NMOS, if one input is applied to the gate of NMOS, then this NMOS should be functionally operated, means whatever the supply must be present, that will be reached towards the Y terminal. So here the current must be flowing likewise. If one input is applied across input A, if one is applied, so VSS is connected to Y output, and if zero input is applied, then VDD is connected towards the Y terminal. So likewise the functionality of there. So according to that, we have to design the PMOS and NMOS. By using these two devices, we have to design a CMOS inverter. So here we have to taken one PMOS and one NMOS. Then here drain of PMOS and NMOS get short circuited, and out of which taken the Y output, and both of the gate terminal gets short circuited, because here in inverter having single input, so both gate must be combined and inverter input is formed, and VSS is connected to here source terminal is connected to VDD and here source terminal is connected to VSS. So likewise the circuit structure or schematic may get formed. Everyone can able to know that how to design the schematic of CMOS inverter. Likewise you can design anything. Now here we have started with a microwind software. Okay, now here we have to started with a microwind software. So as you can click on symbol microwind software, so here we have selected a foundry. So how to go into the foundry? So here we have actual demonstration, we have directly shown on my desktop. So look out my desktop, we are having with the shortcut of microwind 3.5 version. So I am double clicking on microwind 3.5 software, then it may having a pop-up window about microwind. So click on OK, your window will be started, that is microwind 3.5 example. Here microwind palette is there, so according to that we have set it that particular palette. Then here first select foundry. So here go on to the file here select foundry option is there, or either you have to take on Control plus F shortcut key. If you click on select foundry, so these are the technologies which are available on CMOS 06.rule, CMOS 08.rule, CMOS 012.rule. So here 120 nanometer technology is there, 45 nanometer technology is there, 65 nanometer technology is there. So whatever the technology we want to perform that particular practical, we have to take on that particular. 90 nanometer is there. So if we take on CMOS 90 nano, double click it on, your technology should be converted in terms of CMOS 90 nanometer technology. So see here, we are directly getting CMOS 90 nanometer, 6 metal copper, strain silicon germanium, low K general purpose, 1.20 volt, 2.50 volt. These are the supply voltage and the details they have given. The current technology is using CMOS 90 nanometer. So these are the CMOS palette is there. Then again we are minimizing and we start with our session. So in this way we have to first select step 1, select foundry. Okay. So likewise we are having with that foundry selection. Then second step, select the foundry given in a statement according to the title. You whatever the 90 nanometer foundry is there, we have selected and double click it on. Then 90 nanometer technology is selected. Then next, NMOS formation process. How to form the NMOS? So here first we have to see that how to form the NMOS on. So the step number 3, N plus diffusion. We have taken the second last one, that is N plus diffusion. Green color layer is there. Okay, already we have know that N plus diffusion. So here we have draw that particular N plus diffusion is there. It is the area we have selected, that is N plus diffusion, that is 12 lambda is there. Okay. Then after that step number 4, polysilicon is there, on which N plus diffusion we have deposited next layer, that is polysilicon layer is there. So red color polysilicon layer we have deposited onto that. So width of that polysilicon layer is that 2 lambda is there, and extra width is there, extra distance, that is 3 lambda, 1, 2, 3 lambda is there. Both the side 3 lambda is there, and width of that polysilicon layer is 2 lambda is there. So in this way, step number 4, polysilicon. So here the NMOS structure formation process is there. After that we have to deposit a N plus diffusion and metal contact. Okay, on that N plus diffusion we have to deposit a metal and contact. Okay, so first here we have taken a 2 lambda contact is there, and total 4 lambda is the metal one is there. So metal one is there and contact is there, and here the distance in between that, that is 1 lambda is there. So in this way the total NMOS formation process is there. So here we have get the idea about that NMOS layer is there. Here NMOS formation process is there. First N plus diffusion, then polysilicon, then contact, and then metal is there. So according to the rule we have draw the structure in rule wise. Have you got it? It is the structure of NMOS. It is the structure of NMOS. Everyone can able to draw that particular layout NMOS. So simple is there. First you have to draw N plus diffusion layer, that is 12 lambda, and vertically it is 4 lambda. Then apply on polysilicon layer, total width 2 lambda, extra surrounding 3 lambda is there on both the side. Then apply contacts 2 lambda and apply on that 4 lambda metal is there, or directly if you have taken NMOS contact over here. Everyone got it? So these are the step number 5 and complete the NMOS formation process. Now the PMOS formation process. Everyone can able to draw that single NMOS and PMOS formation. Then you can draw any layout. PMOS formation process. Step number 6. Create N-well. First you have to create the N-well. So here we have to draw that particular N-well. Okay. First here we have to draw that N-well. After that N-well we have to draw the P plus diffusion. Here we have drawn P plus diffusion. So here total P plus diffusion is 12 lambda is there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. And surrounding 6 lambda. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Both the sides 6 lambda is there. Okay. So here first N-well we have to draw. Then P plus diffusion. And then step number 7. Polysilicon. Apply polysilicon on that particular. 2 lambda is the distance, 3 lambda is the extra well surrounding. Here step 7 polysilicon layer is there. Then after that we have to apply the contacts, 2 lambda contacts, then apply on that metal. Here the complete formation of PMOS is there, or directly you have taken the PMOS contact from these locations and apply it on. So here we have completed the PMOS formation process. So everyone can able to understand NMOS and PMOS formation. Then now the final connections of inverter. NMOS and PMOS formation process completed. Now interconnection of PMOS and NMOS to complete the inverter. Connect source of PMOS to VDD and source of NMOS to VSS. Short the drain of both PMOS and NMOS. As per circuit schematic, here we have to taken this particular PMOS and NMOS. This should be the PMOS and this should be the NMOS is there. Here we have shorted. Here that is source, drain, source, gate and drain terminal is there. And here source, gate and drain terminal is there. So here both the drain are short circuited and we have taken the output terminal here through the metal contact. Okay. Then here VDD is provided through the metal contact through the source terminal of PMOS transistor. Then input is provided through the metal polysilicon contact through the gate terminal of both the PMOS and NMOS common terminal. We have to join the by using polysilicon layer. Then again one metal contact is applied onto the source terminal of NMOS and we have connected it to the VSS. Apply here VDD, here VSS, here input clock terminal and here output is there, visible terminal. In this way inverter complete design we have to form it. Everyone can get it. Okay. In the next lecture we have see that how to draw that particular layer, layout and see the particular layout output simulation, whether it is functionally verified. Then next check the design rule check. When we have to formation of this particular layout, then we have to check the rule whether all the parameters are functionally okay by using the design rule. So here the button or the here we have to click the DRC, check DRC for click here. Then here it may shows no design rule error in and again give the congratulations message. So as far as concerned with the layout of inverter, if your layout should be as per rule wise, as per rule check, so it may shows the no design rule error. Everyone can able to understand how to check DRC. Then assign source, assign signal clock to get terminal and add visible node at output terminal. If your rule check is okay, then apply the clock signal to the get terminal and add visible node at the output terminal. Have you got it? Okay. So here signal clock should be applied at the get terminal and visible node output should be applied at the output terminal, and it is taken from palette. It is a symbol of simply I symbol, visible output, and signal clock, it is a symbol of likewise on palette. Got it? Okay. Then we have to click on simulation. After that, if you click on simulations, you may get the result in such a manner. So here input A is there. If input A is 0, 1, then again 0, then 1, multiple cycles should be there. So the result for the 0 input, output should be 1 is there, and input 1 is there, output should be 0 is there. So likewise the result you may verify with your layout. If your result should be verified, okay, so take the printout for that particular simulation. Now here the different options, more options are there: voltage versus time, voltage versus voltage and currents, voltage versus voltage, frequency versus time, and eye diagram. So all the parameters you may look out in simulation. Here you may have a step signals in picosecond, you may have to adjust. Again, if you have to look out the waveform, so click on more, reset. Here if you have given the signal name, if you have to look out whatever the signals. So these are the options for run simulation. Then now the VTC characteristics, that is voltage transfer characteristics. Okay, so it will look like in this particular manner. For inverter, VTC characteristics will look like in this particular manner. Then stick diagram and lambda base rules. Stick diagram and lambda base rules. Mask layout, circuit colored mask layer layout, colored stick diagram mask representation, lambda and layout design rules, mask layout of NMOS and CMOS inverters, mask layout of CMOS circuit examples, reading and understanding mask layout exercises. First, NMOS transistor mask, how it look like. Here the drain terminal, then source terminal, and here is the gate terminal is there. That is through the metal contact we have taken drain and source terminal, and polysilicon and metal terminal, that is gate terminal is there. Here a polysilicon layer is there. Here diffusion layer is there, active region, and contacts and metal is there. Already we have know that NMOS formation process, so same as it is NMOS transistor mask, how it look like. So these are the contact holes, metals, drain source, and gate terminal, polysilicon layer. Mask layout and color stick diagram notations. So silicon layers are typically color coded as follows. Silicon layers are typically color coded as follows. So green layer, diffusion, device well, local interconnect. Green layer we have utilized to draw the stick diagram. Diffusion, device well, and local interconnect. Then for P-well or CMOS device, P-well brown color is there, and PMOS device drawing depletion implement, yellow color is we have to take on. Then red color polysilicon gate electrode or interconnect. Blue color for metal contact or interconnect, and contacts we have to shown by using black color contact windows. This color representation is used during mask layer definition. Translation from circuit format to a mask layout and vice versa is relatively straightforward. Several examples follows. So layer contact and mask layout representation. Layer contact and mask layout representation. A transistor is formed when device well is crossed by polysilicon. Device well oxide, thin gate oxide. Here we have to metal and contacting polysilicon. Metal and contacting polysilicon. So we have to draw on the black contact in between that. If diffusion and metal, again we have to show the contact over there if they have connected. Here metal crossing polysilicon, no contact, electrically isolated with thick oxide and so can carry separate voltages. Here metal and polysilicon does not have any contact because no contact, black color we have shown. Here we have shown, so they have contacted. Here does not shown. Here metal and diffusion and metal does not having any contact, so no contact showing. So metal contacting diffusion, no contact, electrically isolated with thick oxide. So next, transistor mask layout representation. A transistor is formed when device well is crossed by polysilicon. Device well oxide, thin gate oxide. Here green layer and polysilicon layer crosses each other. So it is enhancement mode transistor. So this should be the either drain or this should be either source, or either this side should be the drain or source, and in between that gate layer is there. Here again drain and source is there, either drain source on this side, either drain on source on this side, and in between that polysilicon layer is there, and this yellow color depletion implant is there. So as you can implement the depletion mode type of MOSFET, so you have to implant yellow color depletion mode implant. So it is enhancement mode transistor, no implant over there. Enhancement mode transistor, threshold voltage is 0.2 VDD, and depletion mode transistor extra well implant to provide VTH is equal to minus 0.6 VDD. Here we have drawn CMOS inverter mask layout using microwave. So here the PMOS structure is there, here NMOS structure is there. This should be the NMOS, this should be the PMOS structure is there. Here both the transistor gate terminal are common, both the transistor gate are common, and we have provided the clock input. Okay, here drain is provided, here VDD is provided to the source terminal of PMOS transistor. Here VSS is provided to the source terminal of NMOS transistor, and here output is taken across drain. Both the drains are connected together through these metallic contacts and given to the visible node. Here visible node is there. Get it, everyone? CMOS inverter mask layout by using microwave. How it look like in the microwave? If you copy that particular diagram and paste it into the pen, and then CMOS inverter mask layout actual structure. Look at in this manner. CMOS inverter mask layout. PMOS, then this source terminal, drain terminal, gate terminal, NMOS, source terminal, gate terminal, drain terminal, common gate terminal, given clock input. Here source terminal provided VSS, here source terminal provided VDD input. Here output is taken across this particular common drain terminal of both the MOS, PMOS and NMOS. Are you able to understand CMOS inverter mask layout? After that, some layout design rules and lambdas. Lambda, what does it mean by lambda? Lambda, distance by which a geometrical feature or any one layer may stay from any other geometrical feature on the same layer or any other layer. Have you got the lambda? In practical examination, the question should be asked, what does it mean by lambda? Lambda is nothing but distance by which a geometrical feature or any one layer may stay from any other geometrical feature on the same layer or any other layer. All processing factors are included plus a safety margin. All processing factors are included plus a safety margin. Lambda is used to prevent IC manufacturing problems due to mask misalignment. Lambda is used to prevent IC manufacturing problem due to mask misalignment, or exposure and development variations on every feature which otherwise could lead to over diffusion, overreaching, and inadvertent transistor creation. Lambda is the minimum dimension which can be accurately reproduced on the silicon wafer for a particular technology. Minimum photolithographic dimensions, width, comma, not separation is 2 lambda. Hence, the minimum channel length dimension is 2 lambda. Where a 0.25 micrometer gate length is quoted, lambda is 0.125 microns. Minimum distance rules between device layers, example polysilicon metal, metal to metal, diffusion, and minimum layer overlaps are used during layout. Layout design rule checker automatically verifies that no design rules have been broken. Note, however, the use of lambda is not optimal but supports design reuse. Note, however, the use of lambda is not optimal but supports design reuse. But every student should take one care. Everyone can know that the rules properly before going to draw the layout. So at the time of exam, the examiner should ask the rule number 401, rule number 101, rule number 301, 302. So we can know that these particular rule and all the palette layers. Here the layout design rules and lambdas. Lambda based design. Half of technology since 1985 it is evolved. As technology changes with smaller dimension, a simple change in the value of lambda can be used to produce a new mask set. So here the NMOS structure is there, 6 lambda, contact is 2 lambda. Here 2 lambda is the polysilicon layer, 4 lambda is the metal over there, 6 lambda structure is there. HCMOS 6 technology, lambda is equal to 0.2 micrometer. HCMOS 8 technology, lambda is equal to 0.1 micrometer. All device mask dimensions are based on multiplies of lambda. Example, polysilicon minimum width is 2 lambda, minimum metal to metal spacing is 3 lambda. Here metal to metal spacing is 3 lambda is there. Basic design rules. So here, as we can already know that, so minimum sphere diffusion and use minimum polysilicon width is 2 lambda is there. Already we have known that particular. Here 2 lambda is the 2 milliampere. One contact is equal to 1 milliampere. So 2 contact is equal to 2 milliampere. So multiply contacts simply. Here we have taken 1 contact. Here we have taken 2 contacts. Basic design rules. Same N and P alter symmetry. Here N and P are same structure, but here width of PMOS should be twice the width of NMOS. Here width of PMOS should be twice the width of NMOS. L minimum W PMOS is equal to 2 W NMOS. W NMOS W PMOS is equal to 2 W NMOS. Okay. NMOS transistor mask representation already we have studied. So from that, see stick diagram. From that, how we can draw. So here simple stick diagram for this particular NMOS. So green layer structure is there. In between that we have taken the polysilicon layer is there. Then metal and polysilicon contact we have to shown for the input terminal representation, that is gate terminal. If drain and source terminal is there, so either drain on this side, so source on this side. So we are again in between that metallic contact is there. Diffusion area and metals are connected through these black contacts. Diffusion means active region. Here metal blue color we have shown, polysilicon red color, and diffusion we have shown green color. In case of NMOS, green color is there, and in case of PMOS, only one of the change is there. Here the diffusion area for PMOS, so only one of the change is there. This layer you have to shown as an P, yellow color. So it is converted in terms of PMOS. Have you got it? So for reference, an NMOS inverter colored stick diagram. NMOS inverter colored stick diagram. But one note is there, the depletion mode device is there. Here whatever the device we have taken, that is the depletion mode device is there. So look out here. Here PMOS, here get terminal is there, then NMOS get terminal is there, and metal and polysilicon contact is there, then source is connected to VSS. Here source of PMOS is connected to VDD by using the blue color, and in between that black color contact is there. Wherever contact should be necessary, we have to show likewise, or either we have to show likewise. Contacts we have to show in both the manner, either likewise or either given way. In this way we have to show the contacts. So here PMOS is there, depletion mode, PMOS and NMOS. Okay, so the structure will be like that. VTH is equal to -3 volt, and here VTH is equal to +1 volt. Enhancement mode device off at 0 volt, and then finally the CMOS inverter mask layout. Okay, likewise the mask layout, it is complicated structure, so we have to make the simplify by deleting connections provided for interconnecting cell, additional pads and output metal rails. Here whatever the additional pads and metal rails we have shown, that we have removed and shown the output terminal. Here drain source terminal is connected to VDD, here source terminal is connected to VSS, and here polysilicon layer we have directly applied the input, and here we have taken the output. Then CMOS inverter stick diagram, PMOS, NMOS, input, output, VDD and VSS. So simple way to draw the stick diagram, very simple way to draw the stick diagram. So everyone can look out here. Here as per diagram we have to draw the VDD and VSS. So VDD and VSS we have drawn by using a metallic contacts, metal by blue color line. Okay, after that you have to draw the NMOS initial phase, or initially you have to draw the NMOS structure. So NMOS is diffusion layer, that is green layer. Okay, if you draw the green layer, then draw PMOS yellow layer. In between that you have to put it down the polysilicon layer, that is red color. So get terminal get form, that is A input, get terminal get form. Then these are connected to the metallic contact through VDD and VSS. Here source terminal we have to connect, so make the contacts black color and connect through the metal. Here make the contact through cross black color and connect the metal to the VSS, and here output is connected in between these two drain terminals. So we have to make the contact in between these two black contacts and metallic layer. So in this way, so simple method to draw the CMOS inverter stick diagram. Everyone can get it. First draw the CMOS, NMOS, then draw the PMOS. Then according to the structure, here gate is common, so make the one polysilicon layer. Then here to both drain terminal is common, so in between that put down the metallic contacts. Then make it contacts, so shown in by using a black spot or black cross mark. In this way your connection must be there. CMOS inverter stick diagram. So always in practical session, so always in your practical file you have to draw by using color sketch pen this stick diagram, and everyone should make the practice how to draw the simple NMOS and PMOS. So it is so simple to draw the stick diagram. So here again one more way to draw the stick diagram by vertical way. So here NMOS in vertical way, green color, PMOS yellow color. In between that polysilicon layer and polysilicon and metal contact is there. Then VDD and VSS two line is there, and in between VDD is connected to source of PMOS and VSS source is connected to VSS, and output is taken across in between these two drain terminals. So metallic contact is given and Vout is taken across this particular terminal. So everyone can able to know that how to draw the stick diagram. So simple way, earlier way and this way also you have to draw that particular. Here it is PMOS and here it is NMOS. It is your CMOS circuit layout, circuit schematic. It is called as circuit schematic, it is called as stick diagram, and these one CMOS layout. See that CMOS layout, stick diagram, circuit schematic. Everyone can know that. Okay. So here for example purpose we have drawn static CMOS NAND gate. So here NAND we have to develop by using NAND function A dot B whole bar is there. So two PMOS are in parallel way and two NMOS are in series way, and here combination of both the terminals we have taken the output A and B. These are the two inputs A and B. These are the two input VDD and VSS is provided according to the truth table. We have to verify it and draw the CMOS layout by using Microwind software. In the next sessions, practical sessions, we have see that how to draw the CMOS inverter, CMOS NAND layout, CMOS NOR layout, CMOS half adder layout, 2S to 1 mux by using logic gate and transmission gate, and then 1 bit SRAM cell. So till now again one of the method to draw the stick diagram. So see that VDD, VSS, so here NMOS and here two PMOS is there. So two PMOS are combined, their source drain terminal, their two drain terminals are combined. So we have taken two drain terminals, here two source terminals they have given to the VDD terminal. Here NMOS they are having in series. So there one of NMOS drain terminal, then source terminal, then drain terminal, and then here drain terminal, source terminal, here drain terminal and source terminal, and again second source terminal is given to the ground terminal. So in this way these two gate of A and gate of B is connected. So same way here both gate of A, first NMOS, one PMOS and NMOS is connected, and another PMOS and NMOS gate is combined. Likewise you have to draw the stick diagram. Here CMOS and two input AND gate as per earlier NAND gate diagram. So here we have to draw that particular NAND gate by using two PMOS and two NMOS. They are having in a series, and here inverter is there, complement of A dot B double bar. Here we have to made it. So here we have shown the CMOS and two input AND gate is there, mask layout structure is there. Then static CMOS NOR gate. NOR gate we have to drawn by using the way two PMOS is in series and two NMOS is in parallel way. And again here we have drawn the stick diagram. Stick diagram of NOR gate. Everyone can see that. In next session we will cover it, how to draw it and how to, just you may make the practice still. Then static CMOS design example layout. Anyone functions, whatever f is equal to A dot B plus C whole bar is there. So that functions here we have to design it, and for that we have to draw the stick diagram. Here different functions A dot B plus C whole bar. Again another method to draw that stick diagram. Last, steps in translating from layout to logic circuit. Try to simplify mask layout diagram by removal of extended metal and polysilicon lines. First, draw colored stick diagram for NMOS section and analyze. All NMOS transistor nodes which connect to ground terminal are source nodes. Since the PMOS section is the dual of the NMOS section, draw the PMOS stick diagram and confirm the outcome of step 2. All PMOS transistor nodes which connect to VDD terminal are PMOS source nodes. Now for the exercise purpose, draw the colored stick diagram and logic circuit for this CMOS mask layout. Here we have shown the mask layout. For that we have to draw the stick diagram and draw logic circuit. In the next session, we have to make the practice on Microwind software, actual implementation of inverter, NAND, NOR and half adder we have to see. Then how to draw the layout of CMOS inverter, that is the main aim. Thank you for the day.